It's very clear our love is here to stay, not for a year, but ever and a day. The radio.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to A Day in the Life of Will Taylor and Strings Attached. And this is going to be a stream of consciousness, log, ongoing project. I don't know how long I'll do this, but I'm going to set a goal of at least doing 5 days and coming on here and just talking about all the things that I do in the course of a day. I get asked all the time out in public, how do I do my life as an independent artist, business owner. A lot of people are always commenting, oh, it must be nice working for yourself, and what a great life that must be to make a living as a musician. And I always tell them that actually I'm a business owner first. I run a business, and music is what I do and love. And my goal is one day for the music to be the main thing that I do, obviously. And but like a lot of us, I have the bills to pay. I've got a family. And running this business is eventually going to make my dreams come true as being a full-time musician. But there's always admin, no matter what level you're at. And so anyway, I'm going to have this running log of what happens during my day, and just try to give you as many details as possible that maybe you are interested, or maybe you want to try to look into some of these things for your own business or your own life, or if this is just out of curiosity to see what is Will Taylor doing throughout the day, that's fine too. Feel free to share this. And I'm just going to launch right in, and I'll check in maybe twice a day and post these once a day. I'm going to use the Blogger platform to host the video, and basically I'll have the video. My goal is to have the video as an enclosure within each blog, which then will be picked up by iTunes. So this entire A Day in the Life of Will Taylor and Strings Attached series will be available on iTunes as well as on the stringsattached.org website. And that's the idea, at least. It may change once I figure out today how that works and test it and see if these videos can be picked up as a video podcast on iTunes. So I'm going to just talk about as much as I can remember. Let's see, today is day one. Yesterday I was working on a podcast for our Celebrate with Strings Attached site, so I recorded. Let me get the door there just a second. So anyway, if you're wondering about that poster in the background right there, it says, I don't know if you can read it, it says Jazz Festival. That's from a jazz festival I did in Montrose, Colorado in about 1993 with my jazz group. And it was the first year they had the festival, the first annual festival. I don't know if they're still happening or not, but you could Google that, Montrose Jazz Festival in Colorado. But Glenn Rexash and Steve Zirkle, and I can't remember who the drummer was, but went up to Colorado to do that in '93. Maybe we'll return one day. Maybe you can Google and find out. Another thing I want to mention is you can, I'd love to hear your comments about this, or hear any questions you have about anything I talk about. This is an open forum, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. There's two ways you can communicate with me about this video blog. One, just comment under the blog post if you can see that, or just email me directly at will@willtaylor.com. If you have any urgent questions, you could also text me, 512-775-2371, and I'd love to help you out with anything that's going on in your life. So, where were we? Okay, yesterday in the meditation studio on the piece of land that I live on in South Austin, I turned the meditation studio into a temporary recording studio and used my iPhone to record 9 episodes of a new podcast for our wedding business that helps brides with ideas for their wedding and how to be organized and how to organize the music. So for about 2 hours last night, I was in the meditation studio recording this podcast. And so one of the things I'm going to do today is to upload, actually I'm going to first edit those episodes so that there's a little background music, a music bed underneath there. I'm going to take out all the crazy noise and edit it so it's a really nice production. Edit every single one of those episodes, and make sure the levels are good. And I use Reaper for that audio editing, just in case you're wondering. And on the iPhone, I just use the voice memos, and I plug in a microphone. I'll show you the microphone here. So I have a little external microphone that plugs right into the iPhone, and I talk right up here to get the best tone production. So that's what I was recording the podcast episodes last night in the meditation studio. So I'm going to edit that, render those episodes as MP3s, upload them to archive.org, which is a free website for hosting any audio content that you ever want. You never need to pay for hosting audio anymore. You can either use soundcloud.com or archive.org. So once the audio is hosted there, then I will go into I'm trying to remember, FeedBurner, and feedburner.com is where I administer all of the podcasts that I do. And so, actually, I'm going to have to create a blogger site, blog for the new wedding podcast, and then I will put in each of those episodes an enclosure, which will then link to FeedBurner, and then FeedBurner is how I submit. I take the FeedBurner feed, which FeedBurner provides, and submit that to iTunes, and iTunes then gets all the episodes from FeedBurner, and I'm able to monitor all the stats on FeedBurner if I want to. So if you're interested in that podcast, that's going to be on celebratewithstringsattached.com. You just go to the any of the pages on the website and sign up for the free wedding tips. And there are 9 episodes that you can listen to. You can either download them, read them, or listen to them as a podcast on your iPhone. So today I'm going to try to get that podcast up and running. Let me get my notes here. And okay, so that was yesterday. So now I went to sleep, and I could mention that I was up several times during the evening, not because of our new baby, Coralina, actually, but just woke up for no particular reason, and they were sleeping just fine. Then the alarm went off at 6:15, woke up Kenda to get ready for the bus, took her to the bus stop, got back here, and started up the computer. One of the first things I do is, actually when I wake up, one of the first things I do, and I hope Karen doesn't hear this because she doesn't like this, but on my iPhone I'll just, as I'm waiting for Kenda to get up and get ready, I will scroll through and clear out my emails and figure out what I need to look at later. I'll get all junk emails out of the way. So after I got back from dropping Kenda off, about 7:45, I got here into the office here, and I'll open up the desktop and start doing some SEO work, just kind of checking on things in the SEO world. And this morning I started up QuteRank. QuteRank is a little tool that I use to keep track of how my keywords are performing on Google. Highly recommend that. And what I do is I schedule that to run while I'm sleeping, so that when I wake up in the morning, there's so many keywords in there that it takes about 3 hours to run. So I schedule that to run about 3 a.m. When I wake up, then all the updates are there for me to look at. And I usually sort them by a difference. In other words, what the difference in their rankings, to see if anything's really shot up or gone down, and just kind of keeps me on the radar to see what SEO efforts are working or what isn't working. And of course, there's lots of interesting surprises that can happen when you open this up. And this morning I found out that I had some really, really great keywords that had gone up into the top 10, and one of them was cover bands and cover band, which is a very popular keyword, probably 300,000 views or searches for cover bands. But I don't know if necessarily that's going to translate into actual leads, because that could be anybody searching anywhere in the United States for a cover band, or it could be a corporate function or a corporation. So that's my hope. We'll see how that pans out. So I checked QuteRank, and then I also had a couple of my virtual assistants that finished some work, through a Fiverr gig, and so I uploaded some backlinks that were done in a backlink file, text file, to Ping Farm to ping all of those backlinks. And then I also checked rich snippets on Google to see if the new website I'm working on, musicforawedding.com, was if the authorship code was working, and it was, so we're good with that. Check out rich snippets on Google, just Google it. That's a tool that you can use to see if your authorship is verified by Google, and that will ensure that your picture will appear on the search results on Google. So if you want to learn how to do that, just search authorship on Google, and all the procedures are up there for you to do that. And then I also made a note that I need to add some backlinks to one of my high-ranking sites sometime during the day. A lot of that I farm out to a virtual assistant. I've got 2 virtual assistants that work for me during the evening. I have them do a lot of the menial tasks, Facebook maintenance. If you want to know more about that, just make a comment or email me. It's pretty long-winded, detailed stuff. So I'm going to get the blogger.com blogs running today, just a review for the Music for a Wedding site. For the Music for a Wedding. Let me back up again. The brain's going so fast. I can't keep up with it. The new podcast for the Celebrate with Strings Attached site. I'm going to make a blog for that. I'm also going to make a blogger blog for this to hold all of that information and make sure I connect that with iTunes. And I've got not a virtual assistant, but a real intern coming over that will be sitting behind me in about 5 minutes. He probably is here actually in the other room. And so I need to see what he's doing. He'll be here with me for 6 hours. And then Amanda's going to be joining me. Amanda Ceballos, our booking assistant for Strings Attached. She just texted me, said she will be here shortly. And back up, usually after I do those SEO and kind of checking in activities, email, whatnot, I will do some stretching, maybe go for a run, make a smoothie, make a green drink for later, for breakfast, and just do 15 to 30 minutes of some kind of exercise. And usually throughout the day, I like to take a break every 2 or 3 hours and at least go for a walk, break up the sitting monotony at the computer, which is the lovely job I have as a musician. In case you wondered, most successful musicians, their real job is sitting at a computer, promoting their gigs, returning phone calls, returning emails, just making shit happen out there in the world via the internet. So that's it for right now. I will check back in maybe at lunch and add some more things. Let me look and see if there's anything else on the list here. I've got to fix some Strings Attached pages. I've got to update some hidden pages on the Strings Attached website. That's it for now. And if you have any comments on how I should do this better, or any things that I should mention, maybe I should talk less, I don't know. If I can make it more concise for you, let me know. Day 1, here we go. Okay, a couple more things I forgot to mention. I'm using the Debut Video Capture software, which is now, looked like it was getting caught up there. And a little tip about setting up a shot, which you may already know. When I had it here before, I had the light going on just one side of my face, which is cool if you want that effect. But I'm using the natural light from the window, and I'm adjusting so that there is no light behind me and the light source is coming straight onto me. Just a little tip there. That way you can see the natural skin color, and I'm not using a lamp or anything in the room to make this video. And another thing is, I try to look right into most of the time, right into the camera, so you feel as if I'm speaking right to you. Only you. That's right. Okay, back to work. Oh, the other thing I was going to mention is that after I do that little check-in with the email and SEO, in addition to 15 or 20 minutes of exercise, usually 3 or 4 times a week, I'll go into the meditation studio and get 20 to 30 minutes of practice. Sometimes when I wake up, I'll just go immediately to this practice studio and try to play the most difficult thing that I know from memory as an exercise. So more on that later. Talk to you later. So there is some practicing that occurs during the day, believe it or not. Pausing again. Hey, good morning. How's it going? Looks like Eric's arriving, and I'm trying to pause this video. Okay, it's 12:57. About to go to lunch, and I'm here with Amanda. She's on the right, suffering from something. This thing's making a horrible noise. Okay, so we're having fun with a day in the life of me and Strings Attached. And so far what I've done this morning is I went for a nice walk around the block after my wonderful green drink. And the joys of being self-employed. Yes, you get to go for a walk with me more. And so Amanda's here working on reformatting the Strings Attached preferred player list. And we're going to import that into sendpepper.com, which is our really cool new context database system that we're trying to get up to speed with. And more on that later. What else did I do this morning? I converted all of the files from my iPhone from the podcast and started editing those for the new podcast, put them up on archive.org, and I edited those in Reaper, which is a great free program for editing audio. I use that for all of my recording projects. It's just as good as Pro Tools and costs only a fraction. So check that out, Reaper. You can Google that. And Eric is in the next room. Eric is our intern for the fall. He's working on a Facebook status schedule for the new series that we're doing at the Bugle Boy, which starts in October. I can't remember the date, but it's the Paul Simon Show. And then we're going to do House of Wills in December, and then we're going to end with the songs of Joni Mitchell in January. It's a really, really cool listening room out at Bugle Boy. Have you been out there?
Yes.
Amanda, you played there?
I have played there.
Cool.
I didn't play a show. It was a songwriter kind of showcase.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's just a great room for listening, and they really respect the music. It's not like a bar atmosphere. So be on the lookout for that, the new series of the Bugle Boy. And then I'm going to have Eric enter mailing list cards from the French Legation show, put those into a spreadsheet, and enter them into SendPepper eventually. So lots of things going on here. I haven't practiced today. Usually I like to practice in the morning, get it out of the way, along with meditation and exercise. And Corlina's passing in the background. Videos on, just FYI. Okay, anything else? You think that's funny? Yeah. Only we know. Amanda, what have you done today? Can you give me a little log?
Yes.
Just
and
speak loudly.
I'm working on the calendar. I'm updating, working with players, making sure that all of our wedding events are fully stacked with all of our players.
And by way of calendar, she means the Google Calendar. We use the invite function in the Google Calendar to make sure everything's in sync, and so making sure that everybody knows where they're supposed to be and put all the details in there. What else?
Then we have a music planner that we send out to our clients, and I'm looking over music planners, and I'm going into our calendar on Google Docs, and I'm updating all the information with from the music planner into the calendar, so that the players are up to speed with all the details of the wedding.
Okay.
And then later I'm going to use that information to send them an email to advance the show, so that they have all the information they need.
Yeah, we have this very detailed checklist that we put together in Google Docs, which is what we use to store all of our documents and share them, contracts, whatnot, anything we're working on, we share in Google Docs. And this checklist, Amanda goes through probably, how many items are there, like 50? Every single event we have, just to make sure that everything is taken care of and that there isn't any miscommunications or missed details. She literally goes through and puts a check as she's working on each item. So like a few of the items would be, have the players been sent an invite? What are some of the items?
Has the contract been sent? Has the retainer been paid?
Contract
The client
received.
stuff. Has the contract been received?
Music planner checked off.
Did I send them a music planner? Are the players hired? Were they invited? I mean, it's very detailed.
Right. So there's like 50 items, and that part of her job is to be the person who goes through and puts a little X in that nice spot, and it feels so good when you get the whole row lined up with X's.
By the time the row
Right.
is filled up, the wedding is happening. So
That's
it
true.
usually kind of
Okay.
lines up at the same
So
time.
that's how we do that, because our brains just don't. We
Yeah,
can't trust the brain to remember 50 details for
No.
possibly 50 events a year.
Well,
or
what
more.
happened was this year, and we got so busy
Mhm.
that there was no way that I could do it without
That's right.
doing that. I
Yeah.
had to create a
We got
list.
super busy all the way through July. We had the most work we've ever had with Amanda being on board in the last 2.5 years.
Mhm.
All the way through the end of July, we were swamped. And then as soon as August hit,
Cricket.
as soon as August hit, it was like, do we still have a business here? What is this? I
But
mean,
it's
nothing.
okay, 'cause
But this happened last year. It's like August, everybody's gone. Hey, do you have any theories about why August becomes
Well,
Mr. Listener out
I
there?
have a friend who's a photographer in
Mhm.
Austin. Same thing.
really?
Yes,
August
he said
just
it's just
dead,
very, very
dies.
tough times.
Yeah.
Yes. So I
So
think it's common for, I guess, people like us who are independent, local, independent companies that are working for ourselves that are
Mm-hmm. Right.
just.
So then we end up doing things like this, getting organized,
Yeah.
putting podcasts together, things that we can't do when we're swamped.
Yeah.
So right now I'm supposed to be going to have, I'm supposed to be eating lunch. A lot of times what happens is I'll be sitting at the computer, and Amanda knows this very well as Karen, and it'll get to be like 3 o'clock, and it's only, to me it feels like only an hour has gone by, and my body is saying, food. So I'm gonna go eat food now.
And there's
then
usually
anything
food
else?
around you,
Right.
but you haven't touched it.
But Karen is on strike.
Oh.
On a food strike because we have a new baby in the household. So, anything else? What are you planning to do for the rest of the day?
Well,
What else do you gotta do?
Well, when I first get here, what I do is I go over I
Right.
reply to any leads. So we had some Gig Masters leads, and I reply to those. I'm not feeling well
Hey, look,
today.
she looks fine on the camera. Okay.
And I reply to those, and what I do is I send the email the client a quote, and then I call them, and then I send them a follow-up email with what we talked about, and then I kind of let it sit and wait till they're, I'll follow up with them in a week or so.
Okay.
And then I move on to other
So
things.
this is our customer service person
Yes.
right here. She's the voice of Celebrate with Strings Attached. We like to have a lot of interaction with our clients.
Mhm.
I like to get to know them and become their friends.
Yeah, definitely, and
So-
then I work with event planners, and I'm
Mhm.
also working with other clients on their music. So they might be calling me or emailing me or texting me even to go, hey, I'm trying to find the music. I want to pick out the music. I want to fill out my music planner,
Mhm.
and so I'll help them get going on that. Or I'll also work with
Right.
I talk to at least 1 or 2 wedding planners a day and a couple clients a day
Wow.
that are already booked.
Right.
People that are already booked.
Okay.
And then I work with leads in the morning, calendar in the afternoon, and then as the day starts to wind down, we'll usually give me a project to kind of close out. the
And then
afternoon.
a lot of what you can expect is around between 5 and 7, you're going to get a deluge of
Yeah.
phone calls
I'm
from
gonna go
clients because they're
home.
getting off work,
I'm
and she'll
gonna
be in
go
the
home.
car and they'll be, hey, I'm ready to talk.
No, I'm gonna be on the trail tonight.
Right.
at about
Oh, and you're
5
gonna
o'clock.
get texts on the
Yeah,
trail.
I'm gonna get some text messages,
Responding to
phone
clients.
calls, and
Hilarious.
leads coming in while I'm working out. That happens
Okay.
every day.
Okay, so that's Amanda's day, and I'm going to check back in at the end of my day and wrap it up. Day 1. This is day 1, by the way. No music has been played this day. No music's been created. No charts have been charted. Hopefully this week something like that will happen. So you'll believe that I'm actually a musician and music happens around here. But this is what it's like being a professional musician in Austin or anywhere.
We're gonna work here all day, and then we're gonna go play a gig or a
Well,
show.
you are.
I am. Yeah.
Right. Wait, what? Okay, but this is day 1. We're not going to tell you what day it is. We're going to do 7 days in a row.
Oh wow.
Okay, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching this. Well, here we are. It's 4:25 on day 1. Didn't get much done today. Well, I did get a lot done, but it was mainly editing the podcast, which I'm about 3/4 done, and I'm listening to it now, double checking to make sure it's all good. I think I'm going to call it a day here in about an hour, go for a nice long walk or run. Amanda's gone, come back, finish the podcast editing, should be done by 9 o'clock, and then I'll really call it a day. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Signing out. Will Taylor. Bye.